I say, well, hello, motherfuckers, and welcome. Man, UFC 229. Let's talk about it, man. I know I already posted a video about this, man, but this was probably the biggest pay per view card in a while. And then it turned into the spectacle that everyone is talking about now, man. I'm talking TMZ, I'm talking newscasts, I'm talking sports channels, I'm talking all of them still talking about it. Okay, so what we're talking about is the brawl that you can see right over there. Yeah, right there. Uh, that happened after Khabib choked out Conor McGregor in the fourth round. And this brawl happened, man. There was a lot of hate between these two dudes, man. And everybody already knew that, man. There was a lot of hate, with the bus incident and everything else. So even the UFC had beefed up security and stuff there. And it went a bit far, man. It got a bit out of control. Now, what I want to talk about, man, is the fact that Khabib left the ring, man, to attack one of Conor's coaches, um, which is a guy named Dylan Dane, or I believe Dylan Dane. Um, he flew through the air, tried to kick him, ended up trying to punch him or whatever, but I think security got in there beforehand, before it got out of control. Okay, so then some people jumped into the ring. Uh, People jumped into the ring after Conor, and that was all we really knew about this. Okay, but now there is video coming out that the reason that Khabib left the actual ring to attack this man was simply on the fact that the man called him a Muslim rat when he was riding Conor's back next to the cage and choked him out. Called the man a Muslim rat. So he attacked his faith or whatever he did. And with that being said, Khabib couldn't take that no more. He attacks. So once he attacked him, Khabib was in the wrong. When he left that cage and went out into the stands, Khabib was wrong. And now let's talk about that, okay? With that being done right there, okay, what I believe should be done. Well, let's talk about what's already being done. Both of these fighters, Conor McGregor and Khabib, are put on suspension for 10 days until further investigation. And what they're going to do is try to get it done within 24 to 48 hours, they said. And then they'll break down whatever's going to happen with these two. Okay? Now, what they've done as far as Khabib was they held his whole purse. He was subject to make $2 million roughly, or a little over. They held that whole purse from him. Now they're talking about trying to keep this man's whole purse. I say that's bullshit. Okay, fines usually come in a 10% or a 25% of your purse fine, and I believe up to a 30 when you don't make weight and stuff like that. As far as a fine, those are the norms, folks. And what they're trying to do to this man is keep his whole paycheck. Is a bit much, and I believe the reason that is like Dana said, the Congress was here, the congressman was here. Okay, well, a lot of people don't realize is a congressman for Nevada was there. He's also on the board of commissions for the Nevada State Athletic Commissions. So he's got a lot to pull, a lot of pull in this, a lot to say in this, and everything else. I call bullshit regardless. Okay, whether you was in fear or whatever, you don't keep a man's whole purse. Okay, that's flawed. That's wrong in so many ways. Okay, find the man, the normal fine. You know what I mean, and move on past it. Don't make it a personal issue. But they released Connor's money because that night they didn't see nothing wrong with what happened with Connor. Okay, well now Connor is under investigation and he can receive fines as well. And he's under with Nevada Athletic State Commission as well. Um, okay, now what Dana is talking about, he hopes happens, is a 6 to 9 month suspension for Khabib. Okay, a lot of y'all know I rooted and I called for Khabib to win this fight. I am also a Conor fan. I'm a MMA fan. You know what I mean? So Conor has definitely brought more eyes onto the sport with his trash talk and everything else. But I'm also a Conor fan. You know what I mean? I'm a fan of a lot of different fighters, and them, both of them happen to face each other in this fight. And there's also bad blood between the two of them. So back to what I was saying was Dana was calling for a 6 to 9 month suspension, is what he thinks Nevada will give him. Now with this, Dana can go around this and still Khabib can still fight. He can just fight outside of Vegas. You know what I mean? Whenever they have a fight overseas, he can fight there, and that could happen, but it's not going to because Dana is technically pissed too. And he already said he is standing by what Nevada says, and he will hold that as a UFC penalty as well. Okay, understandable. Now, what this is gonna entail though is when he receives this punishment, okay, whether it's a 6 month or a year, I don't think it should be no more than a year. Okay, Dana's saying 6 to 9 months. I don't say it should be no more than a year. Period. Nobody got hurt. You've got fighters like John Bones who have failed multiple drug tests, who just got back off a 15th month suspension. That's a year and 3 months. So I don't see this incident should cause more than a year suspension. But what that's going to cause is a interim championship fight, and that's probably going to go down with Tony Ferguson and somebody else, whether it be Conor or not. I don't know. Conor says that he would fight Nate Diaz again. I don't think he really wants to fight Tony Ferguson, but we'll have to see. You know what I mean? I mean, at the end of the day, I'd imagine that's a Dana White and a USC call, but we'll see at the end of the day. So what that's going to set up is the interim title, basically, or intermediate title, or whatever they want to call it. And I believe Tony will win that. Depends on who he's fighting. Now, on from there, what I believe has happened is when Khabib comes back, he should be able to fight back for that title to lock up and solidify his title. Will it happen? I don't know. We don't know yet what will happen because we haven't got a word from Nevada towards what's going on, and then from then you'd have to get a word from Dana on what he's going to do, is his decision and everything else. Now, what a lot of people, including myself, whenever I first watched this pay-per-view live, and before I made this video, I did not see this. But Conor was actually, once Khabib went over that top rope, and this is why Conor is under investigation now. Once Khabib went over that top rope to attack that guy, Conor climbed up the rope ring then. Okay, Khabib's brother actually climbed up the ring to stop Khabib from going out there or whatever, and Conor took a shot at him, took two shots actually, and connected. Left dude's face lumped up. Um, Now, that is why he's in trouble now, is because he also attacked a fan, not a fighter, but a fan. And he could receive some kind of suspension and fine as well. Do I believe he'll be suspended? If they do, it'll be like a 6 month suspension, which he probably wasn't planning on fighting before that 6 months anyway, so it don't affect him. The money, it won't affect him that much. They'll probably do a minimum fine to him because Conor is UFC's golden boy right now. He is their money train and everything else. So I don't truly believe that that will affect. Okay. Now what happens next with Conor? Like I said, I couldn't call it. I believe he'll go on to fight Diaz, in my opinion. Now, what I feel should happen to these two here, okay, that's what I believe will happen. What I feel will happen, what I hope will happen here is Khabib is found guilty of, his incident. And they fine him the minimal, 25% of his purse, which of, $2 million. That's you know what I mean. That's a good chunk of money for him. You know what I mean. Maybe not for Conor and some of these other athletes, but it's a good chunk of money for Khabib. I believe they will. I believe they should. Suspend him for 6 to 9 months, just like Dana would like to see. As far as Conor, I believe same, 6 months and 25% of his purse. Now with Conor, that's going to be a bigger chunk though, because we all know Conor weighed way more money than that there. So it is what it is. The punishment would be bigger for Conor, but only because he was making a bigger purse in the first place. Even though he lost, he still made a bigger purse. So now, where do we go from here in this sport, man? My personal opinion is this gave the UFC a bit of a black eye. Facts are facts. It did. Did it ruin UFC? Absolutely not. If the bus incident didn't ruin UFC, then this shouldn't. Come on, guys. Now, other than them two there, other fighters were put against action on this. And the fighter that was put against action was Artem Lobov. I believe I said that right, which is Khabib's training partner, a fighter that was set up to fight soon. He has been banned and suspended indefinitely from the UFC for this, because he is one of the two guys that jumped over the fence after Conor struck Khabib's brother in the face, and he will not fight on that card. And from my understanding, he is permanent banned from the UFC, which means not only will he no longer be a fighter in the UFC, but he will no longer be allowed to come to the events, even as a cornerman or something like that. Now, this has been done before with Nick Diaz, Nate Diaz's brother. Do I feel it's right? That's a hard call, man. That really is. I understand why he jumped in that ring. You just seen him attack somebody that you train with, and you know, uh, family members. I mean, not in the sense of family as in like we're blood brothers or nothing, but family. I mean, those guys, they're all Russian dudes. So they all look at each other and train together as family. So I can understand him doing that. But as a professional, there's no way in hell you should have did that. You should have let the referees and everybody else do that, handle that. The refs, the security, the officials, everybody else that was there. You should have let them handle that situation. As a professional, as a street motherfucker, you goddamn right handle that shit. That's your family. Now there was three guys in total that were arrested. Now I'm not too sure of the other two. I know the UFC fighter Artem was one of those guys. I'm not positive the other guy was his brother, Khabib's brother or not, but I know the other guy was the other guy who jumped in the cage. Conor didn't press charges, refused to press charges on those guys. Because Conor knows, you know what I mean? It's when you do and talk as much shit as he does, you know what I mean? There's some kind of repercussions. And I'm not even going to lie, bro. Conor McGregor got a little bit of street in him, you know what I mean? He got a little bit of street in him, so there's that respect. You know what I mean? Hey, it is what it is. You know what I mean? We'll see it another day. Or he may not. He just may, whatever. Um, that's my wrap up on this here. If something else big breaks where they permanent ban Khabib or something like that, we'll rehash out this topic. If not, you know what I mean, I'm pretty much done with this topic until there becomes a rematch. And bam, what are we talking about a rematch for? Conor basically got his ass handed to him by Khabib. Well, folks, Conor has already tried to talk to Dana into seeing what he can do to get Khabib not banned, not suspended, or nothing else, but to get a rematch of this fight. Now, I call Khabib beating him up for 3 rounds. And I'm going to tell you right now, I'm changing that. If there's a rematch, Conor will be more prepared. He will look better on his feet. And I do believe he wins that second fight by knockout in about the second round. Just because Conor had 2 years of ring rust on him when it comes to MMA. During that 2 years, he wasn't even training MMA. He was training for a boxing match. Then he took this fight and then went to a training camp, okay? If you couldn't tell Conor was not Conor when he stepped into that ring and that bell rang, then you're not an MMA fan. You're a fair weather MMA fan. That was not Conor at all. His feet work wasn't as crisp. His punches wasn't as crisp. The speed wasn't there as it normally is. And those are just facts, man. And I'm going to tell y'all now, I believe he's seen what Khabib can do on the ground, can do on the feet. He felt his power. And I believe Conor will take this super fucking serious next time. And he will fucking go in there ready to fight. I believe it'll be more of a Aldo outcome. I believe he'll knock him out either in the first round or in the fucking beginning of the second. But I believe he will knock him the fuck out in the second fight. Whether Khabib comes back for a second fight, I don't know, because there was talk of him saying he would like to beat Conor and retire undefeated. So we'll have to see for that, man. But I am Lost Soul Gaming, man. And peace out, everybody. Till the next one.